All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect.
So we are live.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Blades Hockey. I'm your host, as always, John McDonald. and joined by the best color man in the business, Coach Justin Neppo. Welcome aboard, Coach. How are we doing today?
Good, John. How are you doing?
Doing well. All right, Grafton Park River comes to town on a 4-game win streak. What do we know about the spoilers from Grafton Park River area?
Well, they play a pretty decent schedule, and they play a lot of teams that we end up playing. And one comparable that I've seen here on there, they beat Crookston 5-4, which that was a close matchup earlier in the year for us, and they also lost to Crookston 4-0 earlier in the year. But they seem to be a very up and down team. They won the first 2 games of the season and went on a 7-game losing streak, and now they're on a 4-game winning streak. So when it's clicking for them, it probably is going really well in the locker room and on the ice. And then when things aren't going their way, they have a tendency to probably not pick up the wins that they're looking for.
So some players to watch for Grafton Park River, starting off with number 13, Noah Troffenbergen, excuse me.
Yeah, we didn't get the pregame interview like we wanted to, but that's who the head coach wanted to get interviewed. And leading scorer. I think he's a goal per game scorer and handful of assists on the backside of that. And you can always judge where coaches are preferences of who they want to have a headset on. Who can I trust to go without thinking about it? Who can I trust to sit up there and interview and not and display the things that you want to be displayed for for your program.
So also number 18, Marcus Moe, who we believe will be starting on left wing tonight for Grafton Park River.
Yeah, I think Marcus, I believe, if I remember correctly, he has, 8 goals on the season right now? No assists? Three goals.
3-11 for 14 points.
Yeah, so he's the second leading scorer on the team from a point standpoint. And, that's probably where the whole offense is going to be, driving through those guys. I don't know if Troffenberg is going to be starting or not, but Grafton's always a good hockey team. They have a lot of pride up there, and they've had a lot of history, state championships and things like that coming out of Grafton Park River.
Yeah, long history of hockey up in Grafton Park River area. Winning a few state titles in North Dakota along the way. Some real good spoiler teams, as you look in maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And I guess I haven't really kept up with them much beyond that. But, so a long history of hockey up there. And a program that they've done well over the years, and probably, again, I don't know much about their recent success, but it's hard playing in North Dakota. It's kind of all or nothing a lot of times, where you got to play some pretty big programs, especially in the state tournament when you're going against the likes of Central, Red River, and some of the Bismarck squads. So no strangers to tough competition.
No, and I think you and I talked about it. Geographically, Devils Lake and Grafton Park River, I think, just end up being really good just because they're around a lot of real good hockey players or hockey teams.
All right, well, we're going to turn it over to one of the best in the business here, public address announcer Scott Nicholson, for his pregame announcements and starting lineups.
Spoilers from Grafton Park River. And your home team, the BW Blades. A goal of high school sports is learning lifetime values. Sportsmanship is one of those values. So please help us make this contest a positive educational experience by demonstrating respect and proper conduct. Feel free to support your team, but please refrain from using obscene language or inappropriate behavior. Thank you in advance for supporting our student athletes. Now, let's meet the players. First, for the visitors, the Grafton Park River Spoilers. Goaltender, number 1, Kason Twomley. Defenseman, number 10, David Jelinek. Defenseman, number 6, Soren Olsen. On the left wing, number 18, Marcus Moe. On the right wing, number 5, Torin Beneda. At center, number 24, Drew Suda. The head coach for the Spoilers is Joey Demers. Assistant coaches are Todd Presting and Josh Burenick. Next, we'll introduce our young mite skaters for this afternoon. On the ice, we have representatives from Team Orange. Team Orange is sponsored by Betty's Beef. These young skaters are the future of our program. They represent the next generation of our hockey community. Let's show them our support and appreciation as they take this special moment on the varsity stage. Number 5, Rustin Yegi. Number 7, Max Ism. Number 8, Jack Schoberg. Number 9, Elliot Stone. And skating out, representing Team White, number 6, Beckett Konzemius. And now, for your home team, the BW Blades. Our netminder, number 33, Cale Gilbertson. On defense, number 2, Josh Hoffman. Also on defense, number 26, Jackson Brewer. At center, number 17, Grayson Casti. On the right wing, number 12, Jackson Lopez. And on the left wing, number 28, Easton Nepple. The Blades assistant coaches are James Bass and Bob Lane. Goalie coach is Lucas Levescu. Our head coach is Adam Wurtsema. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand if you are able and face the flag at the north end of the arena. Please help us honor our country and those who protect it by removing any headgear and placing your hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem.
That was tough.
All right, Coach. Thanks to Scott there for the nice introduction. On the Blade side of things, we haven't got to them yet, I guess, but the line shuffling continues a bit here as Coach Wurtsema continues to try and find some chemistry with his squad. What do you got for lines for us today for the Blades?
Well, I think Peterson is back on defense from what I've heard. I guess I didn't see the official roster, but it looked like he was warming up with White Staub. So Peterson's back on defense. And Xander Klinert, who hasn't seen a varsity shift, I think he missed a couple of, I think he's dressing now.
I believe he's on the third line with another guy who's drawn back into the lineup after it's been a bit, Cam Spinks.
Cam Spinks.
And they'll be playing between Jack Ekron on the third line. Brennan Ritter bumped down to the fourth line. And McDonald, Mikey Peterson,
and Isaiah
Brusher are on the line together on the second line. And then the top line will remain intact with Nepple, Lopez, and Casti, who've been very hot. for the last several games. Cassidy especially, I don't know how many goals he's got in the last 3-4 games, but it's piling up at this point, or point-wise anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a playmaker, and back when I used to coach back in Pee Wees, he seemed to finish at about 50% of the shots that he took. But he's always had a nose for the net. He always kind of has a feel for the game, and it's not surprised that he's having success right now.
So Grafton Park River will control the opening draw. They'll shoot it down into the blade zone where Cassidy controls. He goes rink wide. That's out of the reach of Brewer. And now it's shoved up the wall. Shot goes wide from the Grafton Park River defense. And Blades controlled behind their own net. Cassidy with the puck. Works it to Neppel on the half wall. His centering attempt gets deflected where Hoffman will glove it down. And it's played back into the corner for Neppel. Swung around now to Lopez's side. He's going to get it back to neutral, and it'll be Cassidy and Neppel up ice. Shots deflected out of play from Cassidy, and we'll get our first stoppage. Keys to the game, Coach.
Yeah, I just grabbing from my notes here. So a fast start we're looking for here is that, Grafton, I think, struggles when they fall behind. So we want to get ahead of when we can. Pucks on net, it's a volume game, right? So the goaltender here for Grafton, I think, has a very similar save percentage as what our goaltender is and has right now, and we want to test them early and often and stay disciplined. I think games that the Blades have been successful in, they stay out of the penalty box.
Puck swung over to Craig on the far side, and I think I would echo that those are all keys that Blades need to have today if they want to be successful. As we see the puck worked out to neutral and get a look at the Brushert, McDonald, and Michael Peterson line. So this line trades one Peterson for the next, and they'll continue on as the puck is dumped down in the Blade zone, where Luke Craig's going to play it around to Ekron, and he lets it come all the way through to McDonald. Controlled off the wall by the Spoilers, now shot out to neutral. Lopez is going to try to win the race, and he's not going to get there, although he was dang close.
Yeah, maybe hesitated a bit just doing that shoulder check and probably couldn't get to the puck in time. But it's probably better, safe just to do that shoulder check so you're not running into a hard check.
So defensive zone draw here for the Blades. As the Cassidy lines back out, Stav and Peterson on defense. Peterson plays it back through the middle. Now up to Neppel on the wing, streaking down the wall. Easton Neppel gets to the net, turned back at the last minute, controls the puck, works it up high for Matt Peterson, His shot right through Twomley and into the corner. Now back to Peterson again, loads one up, shot, that's going to hit the glass off a deflection. Played right behind the net, Cassidy almost able to walk out, and that'll be controlled by Grafton Park River. Good forecheck there by Lopez to turn the puck over. Shot deflected off shin pads, goes into the corner, and now Grafton Park River will come away with it. As it's played up through neutral, chipped in. Peterson in a foot race with 25, Noah Suda. So Drew and Noah Suda are 24 and 25, and from an announcer perspective, I really appreciate that. That helps me keep things in perspective. As Whitestaff having a little bit of trouble in his own end here. Puck's turned over. Centering attempt, shot goes right through the slot, controlled by Grafton. Shot on, and Gilbertson's going to glove that one. His Stav having a little bit of trouble in his own end there. And hit a defensive zone turnover.
Yeah, it's situational right there. The Spoilers bracketed him there, and it's just get that thing off the glass as quick as you can.
Suda comes together with Brusher, who's back in the middle. Now, looks like Brusher's on the third line here with Ekron and Clinton. So some juggling going on early from Coach Wurtzema. He's again trying to find chemistry. Beneda plays it up to Suda. He chips off the wall. Hoffman's the first man there. He rounds his own net. He's got Mo in his face. And Clinnert's absolutely run over, and he's down. And he's still down. He's slow to his feet. He got blindsided there by the defenseman pinching down the wall. He makes his way back to the bench. Lopez jumps on in his place. Hoffman comes up, finishes his check hard. A little back and forth after that hit. Centering attempt. Controlled by Grafton Park River, now stripped away by Lopez. Lopez and Nepple up the ice. Lopez all alone, gets it just out of the reach. The centering attempt from Nepple, and he would have been in all alone. Casti turns the puck over to the side of the net. Nepple tries to pound one in. That doesn't go anywhere. Twomley shuts the door. Now it's casually played out to the blue line for Ekren, who shoots it down in the corner. Funny bounce off the boards that comes right to the middle, be controlled by Grafton Park River. And they skate away. Into the blade zone they come. Centering attempt broken up by Craig. He leaves behind the net for Casti. Casti up to Nepple. And he has the puck taken off of him by a Grafton Park River defender, and they'll control at their own line. Back to the middle. Shipped off the wall. Ekren plays that back to Nepple. He dumps it deep for Casti. Control behind the spoiler net. Centering attempt broken up by Nepple. He's going to go to the bench after he dumps it behind the net. Grafton Park River comes away. Blade's doing a good job. McDonald off the bench. Puck poked off his stick at the last minute. Blade's doing a good job of bottling up Grafton Park River with some heavy pressure. McDonald tries to center, nobody there. Now played to the line for Ekren. He loads one up, fires through traffic, tipped wide. Comes back around to Craig. He plays into the corner. Back to Ekren. Can he hold it? Can't. He'll come back out to neutral to regroup. He goes D to Craig. Now back to him. And that's touched into the corner by Brushard. Centering attempt, broken up the last minute. Comes to Craig, but it hops his stick, and he'll come back out to neutral. He gives it up to McDonald, who works it on the near side wall. The Blades shoot it in the spoiler zone. Grafton Park River regroups behind their net. Drew Suda up the wall. Gets the zone, but doesn't get it deep as it was turned over by Matthew Peterson at the last minute. Now McDonald plays it off his glove. Loses possession to Suda. Grafton plays it in, controlled by Gilbertson. He tries to play behind his own net, gets in trouble, banks it off the end wall to himself. And now it's played to safety. Shot on, Gilbertson with a pad save as Suda is causing trouble in front of the net. Him and Brusher are throwing punches. They get a warning from the official, but he doesn't call anything. And Grafton plays it deep into the Blade zone. Blades look like they're making an effort to be physical today, Coach.
Yeah, there's no question about that. They're finishing their checks early on here, which is a good sign.
There we see another one from Lopez as he stands his man up as the play was offside and now finally touched.
That was a long stretch without a whistle.
10:40 to go here in the second. Shots two apiece. A little bit of back and forth. Kind of teams look like they're just kind of feeling each other out. Blades heavy on the forecheck, but not able to generate a ton of offense just yet as the plays aren't able to click right now.
Yeah, not quite yet, but it's good speed and good intensity so far by the guys in white. And at times the maroon and gold are kind of standing still. Maybe it's that 2-hour bus drive or whatever it is.
Seems so, like in their own end. And as we see Hoffman just miss on a hip check. Puck controlled behind the net by Grafton. Hoffman muscles his man off the puck. Gains control. Knocked to the ice. Brewer controls, works it up to Ekren, who works to Lopez. Lopez at the end of his shift, a little tired. Still gets around a man, gets to the net, shoots just high. As I thought Lopez looked like he was tired, but maybe he was just slowing down to create a little bit of space on that zone entry.
That'd be more accurate. I don't think he could stay out there the whole time if the coach would let him.
Now we're going to get a penalty here on Hoffman, as he's going to call a hook on him. I didn't think it was super egregious. Came back hard with the stick, but I thought he pushed his man to the ice more than he hooked him, but ref had seen enough and he finally called a penalty.
Yeah, it was probably going to be a time where there was going to be a penalty called at some point in time with some of the stuff going on and whatnot. And looks like Coach Wurtzen was getting a question on it. And just by the gestures of the officials, it looks like that clamp down was the thing that they're calling.
So Grafton Park River going with four forwards on the power play here, as number 22, Trace Anderson, is going to assume duties at the point. He'll be partnered up with number 6, Olsen. And other than that, it'll be the top line for Grafton Park River. Out on the ice, the Sudamo and Beneda, as they're having some trouble coming back into their zone. McDonald hard back on the check. on Beneda. Played to Craig. He fires it down. One area where the Blades have looked good pretty consistently this year has been their penalty kill.
Yeah, their special teams have been really good so far this year, which is a good thing because we seem to be on them all the time.
That's a good point, Coach. So Craig up the ice to present a little bit of pressure. Now Grafton Park River establishes the zone. Craig checks his man into the wall on the far side, right near the line. Puck forced, not quite out, but it comes back to Neppel, and he's the only man there. He tries to regroup, but falls. Grafton has a centering attempt that doesn't go anywhere, and they'll control at the line. And they'll go D to D. Low one up, fire, that's well wide. It's going to come all the way back to the line. And they'll control off the wall. Shot to Gilbertson, pad save. Reverse attempt. Couple of saves in there by Gilbertson as he locked her down tight. Centering attempt now. Gilbertson hot with the glove. He's got it underneath him. And he's got it underneath him. No goal. Yeah, just at the last minute falls back and pulls that one off the line.
Nice goaltending there by Kale. A little bit of running around there in the D zone and was not able to clear. Unfortunately, I think a couple opportunities where guys could have gotten pucks out and just failed to do so. That's generally what happens when you can't get that clear. That puck ends up getting around that net, and the goalie has to bail you out.
So 34 seconds to go here on the spoiler power play. Shot comes in from the point wide. Controlled by Grafton Park River. Up to the line. Walks downhill. Shot with traffic in front. Steered away by Gilbertson. Now into the near side corner. Controlled by Grafton. They'll work it back behind the net. Up to the line. D to D. Brushered in the lane, back to the other side. Walk to the middle, fire. That's blocked down by Matthew Peterson. And he's going to get control and shoot it not quite all the way down on a nice play made there by the Park River defenseman to turn it back, try to catch the Blades in a change. Peterson behind his own net takes a hit, makes the play to get it up to McDonald. He goes up the ice for Casti. That's broken up. Casti controls, dishes inside the line, no icing. Grafton will be back to control behind their own net. And they get into trouble, play the puck back behind their own net. Casti's there. And again, try to shove it up the wall right to the middle where it's controlled by McDonald. He bounces off the wall, but it comes right to the Spoilers. They shoot it in on a hard rim and will control on the far side wall. Again, contested well with some good Blades checking by Matt Peterson. He gains control. Flips up to McDonald. McDonald back rink wide for Lopez. That's behind him. He's going to dump it down. Where Casti will be the first man there for the Blades. Grafton comes out of their zone a little bit cleaner now as they go rink wide, but it's a 1-on-3. Shot loaded up for Gilbertson off the crossbar, off the blocker, off the crossbar, and then gets a mid on it to pull it out. It comes right to Lopez. Lopez back up ice. Cuts wide. Leaves for Casti, loads one up, fires. Rebounds there, back to Casti, shoots it clear to the corner by Twomley. And a couple of nice saves for him. Good centering attempt. Comes right to Brewer. His shot's right on. Twomley steers it aside with the pad. And away come the Spoilers back to neutral ice. So some back and forth hockey all of a sudden here, coaches. Things starting to open up.
Yeah, it's getting really wide open here. A little bit of a sprint and a race here. And I guess I don't know enough about the Spoilers team if that's kind of the game that they want to get into or not. But I'm guessing that's not the game they want to get into. But I think we'll be willing to play that, especially that top unit. They'll eventually find some success there, I think, if they can get into some zone entries and odd man rushes.
So Brushert between Clinert, who took the big hit earlier. Looks like he's back on the ice now, and Ekren. Puck controlled by Clinert. Off the face-off. He's put into the wall, turned the puck over to Beneda, whose shot went wide. Now it comes around at Jack Ekren on the wall, who's back on the wing. Used to seeing him at center, and we may see him at center at times. Still haven't seen Spinks into the game yet. Puck controlled by Ekren. Plays it back for Hoffman. Stops in his own corner. Reverses ice. Chips off the glass. Comes right to Brushard. He controls that neutral. Back across the line. Waits for Clinter to be onside and into the corner. Plays a weak shot in on Twomley from the corner. Blades will control the rebound. Comes to Hoffman. He shoots. Tipped in front. Squeaked right across the crease, but nobody there. Puck played back to the line. It's out of Ekman's reach. He comes back across for Hoffman, who's going to have to dump it. And that comes all the way around. Blades tag up. Grafton Park River controls in their corner. Klinner comes in heavy with the check. Jack Ekman's there to help out. Now played in the corner for Casti. Behind the net. Looks to center. Stick check off him. Luke Craig loads up a big one-timer. Klinner's right in front causing problems. And he gets a little support from Casti after the whistle there. This one's getting just a bit testy as the hitting is starting to pick up a little bit and intensity maybe starting to pick up a little bit here.
I'm glad to see, especially with the point shots that are coming, that we got guys in front of the net trying to take the eyes away, and we have had a couple nice looks on rebounds as well. If they keep that up, they're going to find the back of the net.
Craig had a hammer there. Didn't stop it, didn't dust it off, just fired it. As he's got it again now. Stutter step, chips down the wall. Played back to him, but Grafton Park River will control. He's working hard on the back check. Shot in from the neutral zone. Gilbertson's just going to hang on to it. 4:43 to go here in the first period. Shots are 8 aside. Pretty back and forth game.
Yeah, I think this is a game that we thought we were going to see right here. Just an couple evenly matched teams that both are looking to stay hot.
Puck controlled by Grafton. They'll shoot through a screen. Gilbertson had to be sharp there as he had to pick that one up at the last minute as the shot came through from number 14. Augie Miller shot kind of through his center as a screen there. Good play by him. Puck's controlled by Ekman. Dishes around to the far side corner for Lopez, who leaves for Craig. That's played to the line, but not out on a good hold by the defenseman. But now it comes back to Lopez, and the Blades will skate away over the Grafton Park River line. Lopez tries to center, gets his own centering attempt back. Centers again, but that'll be controlled by the Spoilers. And they skate it back through neutral ice. Shot dumped in. Ekman, the first guy there, takes a hit on a good Grafton Park River forecheck. Puck's played up to the line, held in at the last minute, shot wide. Lopez is going to come down to help. Now he controls in his own end. Puck poked off of his stick and played to neutral by Ekman and shot back in by the Spoilers. Ekman behind his net, plays to Lopez, who tried to center, and Park River's going to control here in the Blades corner. Centering attempt. Nepple comes back to help. Loose puck in front. Puck comes to Nepple. Chips to neutral to himself in a foot race. Wins the race down in the corner. He's outnumbered momentarily. Puck play to the near side wall. Lopez helps him out. Now Casti strips the puck. Lopez controls, circles. Behind the net he goes. Centering attempt. Just out of Nepple's reach. Back to Lopez in the far side corner. Now behind the Grafton Park River net. They'll reverse ice. McDonald off the bench. Centering attempt now back to the weak side D, and Grafton Park River comes out of their end. As they go for a line change, they'll shoot it in. Controlled by Peterson behind his own net. Centering attempt to nobody. Right to Suda of the Grafton Park River. An ill-advised pass out of the corner from Peterson. Gilbertson erases that mistake.
Yeah, it was a line change by the Spoilers there, and Matt wheeling the net, so the pressure was all going towards the wheel, and he tried passing back in the line change, which is ill-advised.
Puck played in neutral ice. Brusher drops his man. McDonald picks up the loose puck. He'll fire. Palmy gloves that down. And a couple of Blades players going hard to the crease for that rebound. It's a good physical play there by number 19 on the Blades.
Yeah, I think that's ways that he can contribute for this offense and defense, is be able just to throw his body around.
Blades almost controlled the draw. Now Grafton Park River has it. Bumped along the wall there by Brusher. Puck stood up at the line nicely by Brewer. Now Peterson back to Brewer. Puck picked off in neutral ice, but just left there. It'll be backhanded in by Peterson. Grafton Park River reverses behind their own net. Good pressure from the Blades. Now it's played on the near side wall. McDonald bumps his man, forcing him to give it up to Brushert in the middle of the ice and played back into the Grafton Park River zone. Now they'll regroup. Puck comes to McDonald right in the middle. His shot's deflected off a spoiler, and it goes over the net. Bodies come together in the near side half wall, and Grafton Park River will come away with the puck. Brewer back for the Blades, turns it away, and finally dumped in on Gilbertson by the spoilers, where Hoffman will control. He spins away from a forechecker and plays it up to Neppel. Neppel's pass is broken up, and the Blades regroup in their own end as Noah Troffenbergen, the goal scorer for Grafton Park River, is right in the way here on the forecheck. He tries to dangle through Brewer, and that doesn't go anywhere. Puck played hard around to Lopez, and he hits Casti, and it's a 2-on-1. Brewer's going to jump up in the rush. Casti and Brewer going to the net. Casti centers. Puck broken up at the last minute there on a good defending play from the Spoilers' number 14, Augie Miller. Otherwise, Brewer's in all alone. Now Miller back up the ice for the Spoilers. Shoots it in on net with a minute to play. Troffenbergen and Miller come in on Gilbertson, and he's going to freeze it.
Good defense there by Luke on that 2-on-1 defensive advantage. He just went after his guy to angle it. Makes Brewer's life a lot easier on that play. But, yeah, Brewer jumping in. Offensive minded their defenseman there. And I think maybe you shoot that puck next time maybe and try to crash the net for a rebound. But
well, he had him on his forehand. I don't mind the play. It's just a good defensive play. But, yeah, with as hot as Casti's been, I wouldn't mind seeing him shoot that puck either. Jack Ekron has a little bit of trouble in his own end. Chips it out to the line. Shot on. Gilbertson's going to swallow that one up as they hit him right in the logo.
Going back to the previous shift, Mike Peterson, Isaiah Brushert, and Kai McDonald, they had a heck of a shift. Mostly just going hard and finishing their checks. They continue to do that, they're going to wear down this team, and they're going to end up getting a puck in the back of the net, I think. I feel like that's going to come.
Olsen dumps it down, but McDonald with control. He gets it up just behind Peterson on the deflected pass. Jelinek shoots it in for the Spoilers. And Luke Craig will be there with 24 seconds to go here. Puck played for McDonald on the half wall. He clears it to neutral. That gets through Olsen. Brushert working hard to get to the puck first. Tries to leave it for McDonald. He checks Mo off the puck. And now played to neutral. Where it'll be controlled by Craig. He shoots it up. Jelinek goes D to Olsen, and that'll be just played back in the corner as time expires. On a pretty good first period, no score. Shots 9-12 in favor of the Spoilers. And yeah, pretty good first period, Coach.
Yeah, Blades had to kill off one penalty where Grafton really spent the majority of the time in the Blades end and was able to generate a lot of offense. Offensive opportunities and shots on net. That kind of woke them up too. I think prior to that, the Blades were seeing majority of the time spent in the Grafton end. But yeah, good period so far. Nice pace, up and down. I'm not sure if you heard John, the Grafton bus broke down.
I did hear that. Yeah. Pooh Peterson got involved somehow.
Oh, did he?
I don't know. I heard the boys in the booth talking about Pooh Peterson, something to do with the convoy. I don't know if he got his rig out there and loaded him up and pulled him into town or what happened, but we'll have to get that story.
Yeah, well, we maybe have to just pull him out of the crowd and see if there's some truth to some of the stuff that we've heard. But that adversity is something that teams have to overcome. And Grafton's bus broke down 10 miles out of town, and they had to get hauled in and. So it was a little bit of a late start for the JV game. JV went really well for the Blades. They won 5-3. Nice, evenly matched back and forth game. Much like we're seeing right here after one.
Yeah, there's been some bus issues here amongst various teams around the state, and that's always a problem when the weather gets as cold as it is here.
Yeah, nobody really, no AD, no superintendent really wants to put their bus fleet out there when it's this cold out, because this is when stuff breaks down. And they don't like dealing with headaches like having to haul that bus back when it's, I don't know, how 2-hour drive from Grafton or even further.
Yeah, I don't blame. I know the Blades had issues with their own busing, as one of their buses they normally use had broke after the Morris game, and were unable to go to Prairie Center due to the cold temperature and having to ride an actual school bus. Apparently, there's a policy or something to that effect. I guess I'm not sure entirely, but I believe that's why the Prairie Center game got canceled on Thursday. So,
yeah, you see a lot of programs. That's why they actually just go and rent charters. They fundraise through different booster clubs, and they just rent charters because then it's kind of out of the administrative hands unless it's like bad weather and passable weather. But the cold really doesn't affect that because those charters will go just about any temperature.
Speaking of buses and charters, yeah. The sponsors up on the screen there a minute ago. We appreciate all their financial resources that allow for us to take charters. And again, hopefully at some point we can maybe build enough revenue up where we can take a charter for all away games. That'd certainly be the goal, and it doesn't happen without the contributions from sponsors. And you can rest assured when you donate through the Blue Line Club that 100% of your contribution goes directly to the Blades team for use and equipment and busing and meals and things like that. So again, we appreciate that. Any thoughts as we wind down the first here, Coach?
Yeah, I think if I'm Coach Wertsma down in the locker room, I'm just saying, hey, nice first period, guys, but we got to keep going. We got to keep our foot on the gas. We got to do all those little things we're doing right. More, specifically taking away their time and space. That's when they were their best. Maybe got a little bit too loose there at the end where it was some 2-on-1s going back the other way that we don't want to see. But if I'm Coach Wertsma, I'm pretty happy after that first period.
Yeah, I would think so too. I don't think we've seen much from some of the big guns there from the spoilers, namely number 13, Noah Trofton. I'm probably just butchering this guy's last name. Troftengruben.
There you go. I spoke to the coach before the game, and it sounds just like it's spelled. So.
Okay, so Troftengruben has been noticeable there. I thought towards the end of the period as he kind of started to come on with some pretty good forechecking, but I'm guessing the Blades have kind of made it their mission to shut him down a little bit, just like they kind of made it their mission to shut down Finn Henry last time they played Park Rapids. And so we haven't seen him break loose, but as you know, that's always a threat when you have a guy who's had that many goals so far in the season, that he's always dangerous. And so it doesn't take him much to break out. So far, the Blades doing a good job on some of the higher scoring players for Grafton Park River.
Yeah.
But that top line of Suda, Mo, and Beneda certainly get a lot of ice time. And they at times have been dangerous. The power play looked a little bit dangerous for a quick spell there as the Blades started to run around their own end, like you had mentioned. And but doing a good job, and Gilbertson there to, like you say, kind of erase some of the mistakes that we saw there. And that's what you're going to need if you're going to win. If you're going to win tight games or close games or beat good teams, you need your goaltender to probably be your best player most nights. And so far,
yep.
I think that's true of Gilbertson.
Yeah, he's looked sharp so far. He's definitely on top of his game to this point. And yeah, I think Noah's coming hard, and these guys don't game plan for people, but they definitely should be aware of who's out on the ice, and if their top scorer is out there, you definitely want to let them know.
Sure, and I think the same can be said of Plumlee for the Spoilers. He played really well. He did what he needed to do to keep the score zeros, and I don't think he was called upon a ton, but he did make a couple of big saves there as Grafton Park River got a little loose in their own end at times too.
Yeah, he had to make some saves. I don't think he was tested quite as much as Cale was, and I think that's probably what we want to see. A couple of these 2-on-1s that didn't come to fruition with a shot on net. We want to look to convert those 2-on-1s to scoring opportunities, or at least a shot on net. And so if I'm the Blades, maybe want to try to clean that up a bit, where we can generate some offense off those rushes and some zone time. I mean, they did a great job of turning Grafton over on some forechecks, and there was some centering plays, and there was a lot of point shots. We did have guys that were in front of the net. We did have some looks where we could, bank home a rebound, but didn't quite finish.
Well, that's going to wrap our coverage up here for the first period. We thank you for being with us today. And as always, appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back here for second period action between Grafton Park River and the Blades.
Jackson, can you hear us? Jackson, can you hear us? Jackson, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now we got you. Now we got you. Hey, nice first period by you guys here today.
Yeah.
What was the sentiment before in the locker room before the game, and what were you guys focusing on to be successful here in the first period?
I think against these guys, our North Dakota team, they're scrappy. They're going to come out and try to hit us. So kind of just play big boy hockey, and we just need to be the more physical team today.
Yeah, you guys appeared to be physical. It looked like you guys were finishing your checks, which is a big deal, and I think that helps with the flow of the game. What are you guys going to look to here in the second period to be successful, to stay on track for a victory?
I think against these guys, we can just use our speed to burn them to the outside. I mean, they're not the fastest team, but if we're going to play slow, they're going to come and hit us. So
it's probably wise. I think you do have the outside available, and then you guys could just be patient for what the defense gives you.
Hey, Coach, Jackson, what was Coach's message for you guys before the game today?
That this is going to be a big test for the rest of our season. I mean, this is a good win. This is a good team for us to beat if we want to keep being successful this season.
Yeah, so it looks like you've had the same line here for a few games now. You guys kind of settling in, find your chemistry. You sure are finding the score sheet often.
Yeah, I think we've always clicked. I mean, we have great chemistry and playing since we're little kids, so it's kind of kicking into effect lately.
Perfect. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way, and we appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks to Jackson Lopez for joining us here in intermission. Get his thoughts on the first period and the game so far.
The engineer was able to convince Wertzma to give up one of his players there for an interview there. And Jackson did a great job there, polished on the interview, quick, precise answers, and kind of what we saw was what he was talking about. I think come out playing physical, know they're a North Dakota team, play more of a physical style and match that intensity and physicality, and know that these are the games that they want to win if they want to be successful down the stretch.
Well said. All right, well, we'll break again as we got a little bit of a intermission here to go as the Mini-Mites are out playing there, as you probably saw. So Zam's just on the ice. Should be a good 11 minutes or so before we're back. Again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you shortly. All right, back for second period action. Casti line against the Suda line. Puck control by the Blades. Brewer has trouble. Now he'll clear to neutral. Not quite out as it's held in nicely by number 5, Beneda. Now worked over to Lopez. Stutter step at the line. He leaves, but that's picked up by Olsen. Takes a heavy hip check from number 2, Josh Hoffman. Puck played down into the Blades zone where Brewer and Moe come together. And the puck will be controlled by the Blades. Lopez reverses ice for Hoffman. And away come the Blades. Hoffman back to the middle. It's got Neppel wide, but a nice play from the defenseman there. And the Blades are going to take a penalty here on a hook. As looked like defenseman number 11, Thomas Assand, stepped up, cutting the rink-wide pass from Hoffman.
Yeah, just a nice read by him. That D guy stepping up, then stick up in the hands of the puck carrier there. Ref catches it, thinks it was enough of a yank in order to merit 2 minutes in the box.
So Trafton-Gruben on the point here on the power play, as we'll see the second look at the spoiler power play. And he holds it in off the boot, kicks it right down. Dangerous play there as the Blades will finally get to clear. Zachrin shoots it down. So Brewer to the box for a hook. As we'll see the hinge play that we don't often see in high school hockey, nicely executed by Grafton Park River on the zone entry. And they're unable to hold the zone as Brusher pokes it out. Trafton-Gruben back for the Spoilers. Reverses there for number 10, Jelinek of the Spoilers. He'll start the play. Trafton-Gruben drops back. Puck played through neutral. Nice play by Casti. Took his man down. Spoiler bench wanted a call there. So he kind of got the stick in the midsection, but they'll play on. And Grafton Park River gets set up on the far side half wall. Centering attempt goes right to Casti, and he shoots it out of there with 59 to go on the remaining on the Spoiler power play. Trafton-Gruben in his own end, circles. Skates through neutral. Gains the zone with ease outside. He's going to fire one on. Gilbertson has trouble with the rebound, but cleared away by Luke Craig at the last minute, as the Spoilers had a man in scoring position. Puck played to the neutral. Little backhand from the bumper, and it's underneath Gilbertson's pads. And the Spoilers are going to score here on the power play, give themselves a 1-0 lead. They get on the board first for this contest.
Yeah, it looked like that little tip. Someone got their stick on that puck there that last second, and that little tip threw the timing off on the goaltender on that slide, and then next thing you know, 5-hole is wide open for that backhand.
Can't really fault Gilbertson there as he was sliding across, and he had the pillows opened up for just a second. Centering attempt by the Spoilers. Now they work it to their own line. Stab plays it up, but not out. McDonald in the face of the defender, and it'll be shot around, where it'll be controlled by the Blades. Peterson plays it up to McDonald in his skates. Puck comes down, and they'll call icing as it came off of McDonald on the wrong side of the red. So defensive zone draw for the Blades. They'll throw out their top line with Stav and Peterson on the back end. Trafton-Gruben into the draw against Casti, and Casti's going to get the toss as Lopez squeaked into the circle early. Neppel will come in and take over face-off duties. Puck played to Peterson. He's taken down, and now the Blades will go on the power play, because they'll control. Trafton-Gruben's got his stick into the feet of Peterson. Blades will control with the extra attacker here, and turnover there in the neutral ice, and the Spoilers touch the puck. We'll get a whistle, so Blades going on the power play. Looks like Hoffman and McDonald will come out, and it'll be their original power play that we saw earlier, the personnel that we saw earlier in the year, with McDonald Lopez, Casti, Nepal at the blue line, and Hoffman.
Yeah, I think Peterson used to play at the point. But yeah, Hoffman has a big shot. He likes to let it rip.
Puck tried to be played back across for Lopez. That doesn't connect. And go to neutral, where the Blades will regroup. Nepal swings for Lopez. Now played to Hoffman. He gains the zone through the middle. Goes into the corner, just fires one on. Twomley, dropped it for a second. And now I think Hoffman's going to go to the box. It's him and Olsen. Got the hands up after the whistle. Well, maybe not. They're going to just give him another verbal warning. Twomley did drop the puck, though, before the whistle went, and I believe that's what Hoffman saw, as he was playing to the whistle, as he should.
Yeah, as he should. That the whistle was a bit quick there, as a goalie didn't have security of the puck there, but he probably would have covered it anyways. That was non-factor in anything.
Yeah, it looked like he should have. It just kind of squeaked out there at the last minute. As we see the Blades control. Hoffman in the middle, plays for Nepal. Nepal on the half wall, plays down the corner for McDonald. He controls behind the net. Olsen strips the puck from him, tries to clear. Donald got the stick in the way to keep it, take a little pressure off. Now Lopez at the line. He walks down, stutter step back to the inside. Fires, rebound for Nepal. His backhand is loose, still in the slot. Backhand again, there it is. Just wide for McDonald on the rebound. As the net was wide open, Twomley was sprawled out. Now another takedown behind the play, and they'll let that one go. As it's cleared down for Gilbertson, who plays it up to Hoffman. Changes made on both sides. Or maybe it's just the spoilers, and they'll get the clear again. Hoffman still tangled up with various Park River players, Grafton Park River players, and now the Blades in their own end having some trouble. Puck played back to the front. McDonald picks up the loose puck, plays to Lopez, enters the zone, back to McDonald in the middle. His pass misses Nepal on the outside, but he still controls. He plays the puck back to nobody, and they'll get the clear to neutral. Puck controlled now inside the zone. Rink-wide pass just out of Nepal's reach. Able to get control of it, but not able to get a shot. As you can see that him and Lopez are trying to go east-west on that power play. Big rebound played out for Casti. That'll do it for the power play. Ekron up ice. Goes out wide, fires one behind the net for Casti. He controls, centers, but nobody's there. Grafton over the line, cuts back to the inside. Two nice moves back to the middle and scores. No, it didn't go in. Puck waved off. Gilbertson's got it again on the rebound. And I thought for sure that was in.
Yeah, big save by Kale right there. And then I think everybody down there stopped playing, and then the puck went right back out to number 13, the leading scorer for Grafton. Two good looks by Noah there on that line, or that shift.
So you can see some of the skill on display and as to why he may have as many goals as he does as Troftengruben, and walk through 2 or 3 Blades players, cuts from one side of the ice all the way back across the grain, and then had Gilbertson more or less deked out of his pads. I'm not sure how that didn't go in. As we see a shot right off the draw as he stepped through half the team, it seemed like. And then Gilbertson making a big save again on the rebound. And Blades are lucky that this is still a 1-goal game after that play. Puck plays across for Klinert. He plays it to neutral, and that'll get sent wide. Grafton Park River enters the zone, cuts off the wall. Suda in the skates, kicks it out. Big save by Gilbertson. He's had to be sharp as some shots have kind of come through screens, and when he's not really expecting them. Off of funny little plays where it's off a skate, comes back to the original shooter, and all kinds of weird plays today for Grafton Park River. Gilbertson doing a nice job of staying sharp as Troftengruben back in the slot off the bench. Hops his stick at the last minute. Klinert holds up, puts the play offside. As the Blades on the ropes a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit of running around in their own end. They just need to settle the game down. And, Grafton, I think, is getting confidence as the game goes on and getting their feet underneath them. And maybe they need to get back to that physical play. You know, that's one thing that you can do to top guys like Noah is don't fish for pucks, just hit the man.
So number 13 starting to see the ice a little bit more here. It felt like maybe his minutes weren't quite there in the first, but he's come on here in the second, and we're seeing more and more of them. It'll probably be the way it is the rest of the game, I'd imagine. And we're going to get a cross-check penalty on the Spoilers.
I guess I missed where that was at.
That's number 14, Augie Miller, going to the box for a cross-check. I must have been behind the play.
Yeah, he came out of the corner to the left of us on the west corner. Maybe finished the check inappropriately.
So the Blades get a second try here at the Peeper as things didn't go as planned for the first one. Neppel loads one up and scores from the top of the circle. Beats Twomley high over the blocker's side shoulder, and the Blades are on the board. It didn't take them long that time, Coach.
Yeah, that was a nice shot right there, top of the circle. Didn't spend too much time dusting it off. When face-off was won back to Neppel. Neppel gave it to Hoffman. Hoffman gave it right back, and he put it through.
So the Blades figured it out in a hurry. From one power play to the next, and it's a 1-1 game. 10 minutes to go here in the second period. Hoffman behind his own net, just as Grafton Park River was starting to pick up a little momentum too. The Blades had a big answer. Now they're back on the attack as Lopez over the line, cuts to the inside, shoots. Just missing the net from this sharp angle. Hoffman fires one into the corner, controlled by Neppel. Circles high, cuts back to the inside. Puck on his stick, fires again, just wide. Might have came off Casti. Shot back through the crease as Hoffman had pinched down. Now it's played back to him at the point. He fires, tries to kind of just put one down for Casti. That'll be controlled by Jelinek and shot out of there. Hops over Hoffman's stick, and Gilbertson's out to play it. Backhands it to Neppel. He regroups, leaves for Hoffman, up the wall for Brewer. Brewer has the puck poked off of his stick, but it comes at neutral. Hoffman controls just inside his line. Finds Casti in the middle, gets through him, and Jelinek will play it for the Spoilers. Held in nicely by Casti. Evades a check, fires on. Twomley gloves that down.
Nice shift right there to come back after the goal, too, not just to lay back and let Grafton Park River in our own end and try to set up the zone time. So nice response there by the Blades.
It's Park. Have I been saying Park Rapids the whole time?
No,
okay.
that was me.
Okay. Puck played up to Luke Craig at the point. Now it comes over to Ekman. He fires in. That doesn't quite get there. Grafton Park River just skated away through neutral. Craig forces Mo into the corner, strips the puck off of him, cuts back to the inside, plays it up for Brushard. He knocks it out of the air, crosses the blue into the attacking zone. His centering attempt off a skate and right back for Beneda. Beneda cuts back through the middle. Peterson takes the puck off of him, regroups in his own end. Ekman to Craig. Craig has a little bit of trouble. He's going to flip it in on Twomley, and that should go no ice. Grafton Park River will regroup in their own end. Mo back to the middle. He hits Beneda at center ice. He's over the line, fires one on. Kind of a soft little flutter puck right into the crest of Gilbertson's jersey, and he hugs her down for a whistle.
Yeah, a little harmless play there by Grafton. But, you know, in the second period, whenever you have these long changes, I think anytime you can get a whistle after you've been out there for a bit. That's probably just the play that they were getting. They didn't have numbers, so just get it on net, freeze the puck. Same for us. Kale just freezes the puck and reset.
Dangerous play there to Jelinek at the point. He puts one on, rebound, cleared out of there by Casti. And now the Blades will regroup. Neppel with speed. He's got to step on Olsen if he goes. He's going to get to the net. He fires one. Twomley, I think, has it in his glove. Looked like he trapped it between the glove and the pad, but looks like he gloved her down for a whistle.
That was a nice shot right there. That's probably about the height that you want to make that shot.
That low glove shot is a tough one for goalies to stop. As we have 8 minutes to play here in the second. As short as the first period felt, the second period has felt twice as long, it seems like. We're not even maybe halfway through at this point. Puck played for Casti. Almost has Lopez on the back door. As Lopez controls in the far side corner, leaves for Neppel. He plays it back for Lopez. It gets deflected up off the glass. Lopez dumps down for Casti. Be controlled by Grafton Park River, though. As they're having a little bit of trouble in their own end. Again, Blades doing a good job of bottling up the middle of the ice. Troftengruben throws a big hit on Lopez. And they're going to waive icing. As it was just out of the reach of Peterson. He made an honest effort for it, but wasn't able to get it. Casti leaves for Lopez on the trail. He turns away from pressure. Again, controls the puck. Got a man back door off the boot of Brewer. Otherwise, that's in the net. And Grafton Park River skates it out of there. It's Troftengruben up ice. He's well defended. He leaves the puck for his teammate and goes to the net. Him, Peterson come together. Centering attempt. Well protected by the Blades. Lopez and Neppel skate away with it. Over the attacking line. Lopez cuts to the inside. Leaves for Matty Peterson on the far side. His shot goes high. Grafton Park River skated into the Blades zone. But Brushert and Brewer are back to defend. Blades in a change. They played up to neutral ice. Hoffman, Spinks is on the ice now. Spinks going to the net. Lopez with the puck. Cuts back. Looking for help. Circles high. Switches with Brewer. Back to the middle. Gives up to Spinks. Spinks off the wall. Fires off the side of the net. Twomley played that well, keeping the puck to the outside. And now it's played down in the Grafton Park River corner. Hoffman coming in to help. And he's going to take a penalty again as he got the cross check. Now he's going to glove.
Oh, you might bring somebody with him.
And all kinds of spoilers in there. We got some gloves into the face as we should get matching minors.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to get him maybe twice here for a rough and a whatever the original call was.
Yeah, probably a trip. I guess I'm not going to argue the trip, but that seemed pretty incidental where...
I think he had the cross-check on the hip there. So he's going to take a man with him, but I'm guessing they're going to get matching roughs, and then so the Blades will still be short-handed.
Yeah, they're asking for him to... I think they're asking for them to throw another guy in the box.
So it'll be 4-on-5. Coach Wertzman was, I'm guessing, innocently asking 5-on-5. But it'll be matching minors here. So Blades going on the kill again. And Grafton Park River finding the back of the net on the last power play as they're 50% on the day, as are the Blades. And Neppel's going to go serve the penalty, I believe. So Hoffman did his best to even things up, but unfortunately took the additional 2 as he got the hands up in the face.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to not get called and be able to pull somebody in. You're probably gonna have to say something underneath your breath that only the other player can say it in order to pull you in.
Yeah, it looked like he knew he was going to the box, so he figured he'd maybe just keep her going a little bit. Got the old stinky mitt up in the face there, the old face wash, and the eagle eye of the referee caught it all as he was standing right there, and he wasn't amused.
Yeah, so it's a big penalty kill here for the Blades. This is the third time they've had to kill a penalty already this game, and one successful kill, one unsuccessful kill. In both instances, I think Grafton did very well in of creating offense and scoring opportunities in their power play.
So Hoffman has been in the box twice. Has he been in the box 3 times? Just 2.
Twice, I believe.
Looks like he's a little irritated today. Kind of playing with a little bit of chip on his shoulder so far.
A little bit of edge.
This time was a little too much as we see Grafton Park River control Troftengruben back across the grain. And I'm not sure which goal was faster, that one or the Blades. As the Blades should go back to full strength. So Troftengruben walks it down, hits the man on the backside, and Grafton Park River finds the back of the net in a hurry. So again, the special teams battle proving to be a big one, as I would imagine either team is going to probably want to stay out of the box the rest of the way, as both power plays have looked good so far.
Yeah, it's something that the Blades are 1 for 1 and the Spoils are 2 for 3, and it might be one of those things that the guys that stay out of the box are the one that win, or the team that stays out of the box wins this game.
So the Suda line against the Cassie line, that's center ice, and Jelinek plays the puck to his partner, gets through the centering attempt. Peterson controls, plays it over to Lopez. Soft little chip off of Twomley's pads, steered into the corner. Wyatt Stabb does a good job of breaking up the zone entry. Play will be offside, and Neppel skates away for the Blades. He misses Peterson on the chip shot, and puck will be played back to Stav, who controls. That's Stav. Looked like Klinert for a second. Stav shoots it in. That'll come all the way around for Lopez. That gets through him. Casty dumps it down. He controlled by Lopez in the corner. He takes a nice hit from Olsen. And Grafton Park River controls with Suda, bringing the puck out of his own end. Rink-wide pass gets through Peterson. Mo coming in uncontested. Fires good stick check, and on the back check by Casty to break up that scoring attempt. Neppel plays the puck to the line, but not out. It'll be scrummed on the far side half wall. Now played up to the line again. Shot is knocked down. Neppel kicks it out to Lopez. He gains the zone. Tries to dangle his man. That goes nowhere. Neppel flips it down for him. Lopez spins off a checker. Played back to the middle. Neppel on the tip play. Brushard going to the net, and he found him at the last minute. Feathered one in, and Isaiah Brushard gets a tip on the puck and pass the right pad of Twomley to tie this game at 2.
Yeah, that was a good heads-up play by Brushard. I think just coming off the bench on a line change and just opportunistic, go to the net, guys, right? Somebody will find you, and they just find him on that backdoor play, and it's an easy tap-in for Brushard.
So that'll knot us up at 2 with 4:22 here to go in the second. And we'll try to get the call this time from PA announcer Scott Nicholson, as they're still sorting out the penalties. It'll be 5 on 5. They should probably take the penalties off the board at this point, as I believe it's the first whistle after or unless they get out at the right time here. I think it's the first whistle.
I think it's the first whistle.
So they're kind of trying to sort that out right now. There they come off the board. So it'll be the first whistle after 25 seconds run off the clock here. As we see the Blades control the draw. Craig goes back through the middle, knocked down.
For the Blades at 12:38 in the second period, number 19, Isaiah Brushart, assisted on the play by number 28, Easton Neppel, and number 12, Jackson Lopez. That's Brushart from Neppel and Lopez. That's good hockey.
So we get the call there from Scott. Thank you, Scott. As you heard, Brushart from Neppel and Lopez, and we're still kind of sorting out something out between the officials here.
I don't know if you saw Scott's shirt as he walked in today, but he had the That's Good Hockey shirt on.
That indeed is good hockey there.
Yeah, that was good hockey.
You mentioned a heads-up play from Brushart, but a heads-up play from Neppel to kind of catch that out of the corner of his eye there. Brushart going to the net, and instead of dusting it off too much or trying to fire high corner, he just kind of laid it right out there for him in about as perfect a spot as you could.
Yeah.
He was stretched out all the way and just got like a one-handed tip on it the last minute. And that's, like I said, just a nice play by 28 there to catch that man off the bench late.
Yeah, I think plays like that, too, they don't have to be a perfect pass. You just kind of pass into an area where he's skating into and let him just go make an athletic play. Like you said, you're just kind of just directing the puck into the back of the net at that point in time. And with Isaiah, the way he likes to play, that's probably the goal that he's going to score if he's going to hit the score sheet. And we need contributors up and down the lineup, and that's the type of goal we're going to want to see him or that's the type of play we're going to want to see him in order to be contributing.
So I'm not sure the delay here should be pretty straightforward as Grafton Park River scored on the power play. We play 5-a-side, the Blades score, and then these two penalties should be matching minors. They should come out again at the first whistle after, should be only just a few more seconds tick off the clock, and then the next whistle really is they should get out. So I'm not sure the holdup here. It's nice to see 19 hit the score sheet. It's been a little bit, so it's good to see him back in the mix on things.
Yeah,
they need him to contribute if they're going to have success.
Yeah, he needs to be part of the offense. You know, whether he's we prefer on the score sheet, but you know, doing other things, and there's a nice little attempt by him again there too.
So, kind of a jam play to the side of the net as Grafton Park River skates it down. Shot from the outside, steered in the corner by Gilbertson. Centering attempt covered. Harmless play there. Yeah, again, Blades with the big bodies on that line, and McDonald, Peterson, and Brushard kind of banging and clanging and trying to scrum a puck to the front, poke one in. Almost were successful there.
Yeah, nice little gritty play, just go to the net. You know, if that lineup sticks together, if they could, you know, bury 1 or 2 a game like that, that'd be excellent.
Brewer versus ice for Neppel as we have the Casti line against the Troftengruben line now. Brewer with the puck in his own end, reverses back to Peterson. That one will get your blood pressure up a little bit. Puck played back to Neppel. His shot off the high glass in the corner as it's deflected. Now Brewer at the point loads one up. Good hard low shot deflected at the last minute. Thought that one was going to roll behind Twomley. Lopez turns and fires. That's off the, I think that was off of Twomley or a body and went just wide. Good hold from Brewer at the point. Shoves it back down. Dangerous play. Troftengruben up ice. All alone. But puck doesn't come through. Now it's played back to Lopez, who turns and fires it down. Casti and Olsen come together in the corner. Nice hold there. Matt Peterson read the play well. Step down, centered attempt. Almost off a Grafton Park River defender. Played into the corner by Brewer. For Casti, Olsen, and Jelinek do battle. And it's played to Troftengruben. He's watched hard by Lopez, taken into the wall and a nice back check. Brewer controls the puck, chips for Casti. Blades inside the zone. Casti down the wall, looking for help. Cuts to the middle, centers, looking for Ekron off the bench. Well defended by Troftengruben, and he controls the puck in his own end. He turns and fires up through neutral. Grafton Park River with numbers up ice. They slide it across, wide open net. Went from one side to the other. I'm not sure what happened to the Blades. Were the Blades short-handed?
No, we've seen Grafton here as the period goes on. They're putting it wing out high, and then as that battle for possession went in Grafton's end, Grafton had 2 wings up high or 2 forwards up high, and we had one guy pinching and trying to make the play, so you had one D guy left out there. So it was kind of just defensemen not seeing their guy behind there, not picking up his guy, and just eyes looking at the puck instead of maybe picking up a guy behind him.
I just saw Hoffman come out of the box all by himself. I thought maybe he was still in there. He must have just come out later. So, yeah, so a even strength goal is...
14:57 in the second period. Number 5, Torin Beneda, assisted on the play by number 18, Marcus Moe, and number 13, Noah Troftgruben.
So Beneda on the score sheet there for Grafton Park River. As back and forth we go, I don't say it's really been a slugfest, but just a back and forth game. It's 3-2 Grafton Park River. As Klinert takes an elbow up high behind the play. And there's Beneda again up ice. It's him and Ekron battle it out. Puck played around the wall. Controlled by Luke Craig. He skates up, has trouble, turns it back. Klinert has it. He goes back through the middle of the ice. Troftengruben's reading that the whole way. And Klinert again takes a big hit. Troftengruben gets the puck off the wall with space and fires on. Puck finding his stick in space a lot lately.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place, and that's what happens when you got guys that are moving constantly, kind of trailing the play, and he just Puck flips over to him, and he's able to curl off the wall and get a shot on net. Kale able to see that all the way, gloves it down, and kills the play.
So Casti and Grafton square up. Draw one cleanly by the Blades. Casti played to the line. Jelinek holds it there. Back to Hoffman. He fires it up for Casti as the Blades on their own 2-on-1. Casti, Nepal on the back door. He turns and fires. Twombly covers that one. So Blades sneaking a man high now too.
Yeah, I'd taken a page out of the Grafton playbook there and just tossing a guy out in the neutral zone. With their D guy busy trying to pinch and hold, we're able to get behind him.
Well, you're going to have to keep your head on a swivel if you're playing defense in this game. Casti controls the puck in the corner. Now it's scrummed to Nepal, and Grafton Park River flips it down the ice. Foot race. Brewer's going to have to hurry. As Grafton Park River puts pressure on the puck in the near side corner. Centering attempt broken up by Casti. Nepal control, takes a hit, and it comes to him again. The puck will be scrummed around. Nepal finally shoots it out, and that will be an ice. No, they wave it. Not sure what happened there. Everybody kind of quit playing. Nice play by Troftengruben off the wall as he knew he had a man on his weak side. He just kind of tried to touch it to him. Brewer had to be alert, otherwise that guy was all alone. Shot in on Twombly now as Hoffman goes hard to the net, gives him a bit of a whack right at the whistle.
Yeah, Hoffman following up his shot. That's what you want to see do. If you take a shot on net, don't curl away to the wall. Just keep on going to the net, because you never know if that's going to happen where it just sneaks out and you can bank it home.
11 seconds to go here in the second. Offensive zone draw for the Blades. They'll keep the Casti line out against the Suda line now. Casti's been good on the draw tonight. He wins it clean. Comes right to Brewer. Over to Hoffman, just out of his reach. He's not able to get a shot on net. And that'll do it for the second as puck will be skated into the corner. And things getting a bit testy again. As I want to say number 2 for the Blades there has been a bit of an agitator lately. He seems to be kind of just giving those extra whacks or pushes after the whistle just to get under the skin of the opponent. And I'd have to say it's probably worked pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to assume that role where you just come in and just kind of be that pest out there on the ice. And, you know, Hoffman is definitely playing that spot, and he's doing well. And I've just been impressed with his game the last handful of games. He's playing a simpler game, playing a more physical game. He's super effective on the back end. You know, sometimes defense isn't always flashy, right? Sometimes a good defenseman you don't even notice, right? Because they're just always shutting things down or nothing's coming their way. So, but I thought Hoffman's played a pretty edgy game so far the last handful of games, and today is still following suit.
Still struggling to maybe find that line, as he's been in the box a few times here. And but I guess that comes with the territory. If you're going to be an agitator, you're probably going to be in the box now and again.
Yeah, you need that break every once in a while.
Well, hopefully the Blades can stay out of the box, as Grafton is 2 for 3 on the power play. And that's been the deciding factor in the game so far. Blades 1 for 1, or excuse me, 1 for 2 on the power play. And this has been a good one so far. So it's 3-2 Grafton here after 2 periods of play. And both teams probably got to be pretty happy with the way they played so far. I don't think there's been any glaring mistakes. Teams starting to be a little more opportunistic, trying to open things up and take chances on both sides of the aisle there, and it's worked out. And like I said, the game's opened up a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a fun game to call so far and just watch. Yeah, like you said, there's not a ton of mistakes. Some skill on display. It's up and down, some pretty good defense. But yeah, it's been a fun game so far. Not sloppy by any stretch. Not missing passes, not waving at players, guys finishing checks, good angles, that type of stuff. Things like, if you're going to score, you're going to earn it, right? If you're going to get beat, it's going to get earned. So that's what you want to see in between these teams here, is just a good competitive matchup.
So as we enter the third, a few players we haven't seen much of. Cam Spinks, Clinard has had a few shifts, and I think Brennan Ritter now will finally be able to draw into the game, as he did play 3 periods of JV. So it'd be interesting to see if the Blades can get that third line of Ekron, Ritter, and Spinks going in the third. Otherwise, it looks like Brushart's been doing a bit of double duty between the second and third lines again.
Yeah, Brushart's played good so far, and I think, maybe Wurtzma wants a little bit more out of Brennan Ritter, so he maybe give him a little bit more JV time to work on some things, or maybe just to fire him up if you want a roster spot on the varsity. So, but yeah, he's one of those guys that came out hot at the beginning of the season. I think he had a couple goals and a couple assists in the first handful of games, and then he just kind of disappeared on the score sheet down the stretch.
So Tony, working on an interview here between periods, as we hope to get a Grafton Park River player. Of course, that'll be up to their coaching staff if they want to send one out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I believe he was going to try to get our pregame interview that didn't click for us with number 13, Noah Troftengruben. So we'll kind of wait, hang out here just a minute for that.
So the Prairie Center game that was scheduled for Thursday,
yeah,
that got rescheduled for February. Is it February 3rd? No, February 2nd. That was a week. That's going to be a tough week for our guys. They play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. They got 4 games that week. Nobody wants a Monday game either. So you got Prairie Center on a Monday, which means you're probably practicing Saturday if they don't play. Yeah, they don't play that Saturday before, but they're probably going to practice because you're not going to go two days without skating and try to go play a game. So a lot of ice time coming up for the high school team, as they are definitely in the meat and potatoes of their schedule now.
Well, it's you got to be a little bit strategic about your scheduling, and you got to kind of take weather into account. You don't ever know what you're going to get, but it might be nice to kind of front load the schedule a little bit at times, so you do have room on the back half of your schedule to schedule makeups for weather cancellations. Blades they don't have that now because they were a little light on the schedule to start the season. And now in the back half, they were jam-packed already. And now with, I believe, 2 cancellations, they're going to be even more jam-packed. It was a good deal that the last cancellation they had with Kitson, they were able to do on a Monday, which didn't, well, I guess that was this Monday. And then, so it didn't overwhelm them too much, but they just don't have room in their schedule to make up any more games. So we're hoping that we don't have any more cancellations, because I don't know how they're going to get the games played.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to play on a Wednesday night, which nobody wants to do, but you can if you need to. Also, like, just looking at that, weeks like that, if you get any kind of sickness running through your locker room, that's where it really just piles up, because you got guys missing and stuff like that. You got so many games. At least if you can go into a week with only 2 games and you got sickness running through the locker room, you can handle that. It's just, or you get 4 games and then all of a sudden guys are wore out and they're getting sick or they're getting banged up and injured because they're on the ice too much, playing too many games.
Yeah, I think you throw travel into there. Yep. And, it's not fun to ride a bus for 2 hours to get home at midnight and then get up and go to school the next day.
Yeah. And
then do it all over again that night. That wears on you after a while, and that, again, leads to sickness, can lead to injury. And so you don't want to overwhelm yourself, but it sounds like at least for that week, 4 games in a week, I don't know that I've ever seen that before. That's pretty intense.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't think I ever played a schedule like that when I was growing up. So, some of these guys want to go play in a Tier 1 league or something like that. Here you're getting a Tier 1 schedule. And NHLers don't even play 4 games in a week typically.
Well, this year, you can kind of see it this year. There's league-wide, there's a lot of injuries begin because of their condensed schedule that they've been playing due to the Olympics. And so that adds up at any level. Of course, their travel's a little bit more extreme, as well as the physicality of their game. But, it still can affect these guys at this level, too. But it's nice to get all your games played as well. You only get 25. You don't want to give one away if you don't have to. So
no, you need to play them. So if you have to, you do 4 in a week. But as a coach too, like, you've sat on the bench long enough, the best way to correct things is in a practice. So if things are going right for you and you need to correct something, you want to have a practice somewhere in there. Best schedule is probably game, practice.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to hear from a Grafton Park River player, unfortunately. So unless you have anything else, Coach?
No, let's cut to break.
We'll cut to break. We'll wrap it up here for the second. So it's a 3-2 Grafton Park River lead after 2 periods. It's a good one. Stay tuned. We'll be back for the conclusion in about 10 minutes. All right, welcome back. Third period action just about to get underway here at Stern Arena, Wapaton, North Dakota. At a, what do we want to call this? An interstate tilt between, at least half an interstate tilt between the Blades and Grafton Park River. And a team we haven't seen in a long time here, Coach. I don't ever remember seeing the Spoilers. I'm sure they played back when the Blades played in North Dakota. Imagine they played a time or two, but it's been a while since they've been in town, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a few guys that are in our organization that are from Grafton, and they said it's been 10 years since we played.
Sure. Poor Jimmy Loken feeling very conflicted today, I'd imagine, on who to cheer for. As he's an ex-Spoiler. As we see the Spoilers come down, shoot. Diggered aside by Gilbertson. Play to the line, not out. That'll be dumped down for Suda. Gets through him and into the near side corner where Neppel kind of softly plays the puck up the wall. Mo had it for a minute. Now it's controlled by the Blades Brewer. Again, Neppel having some trouble making a play on the half wall. Kind of soft play to neutral ice, and it's steered back in by the Spoilers. Hoffman finds Casti in the middle. He's got Neppel rink wide. Neppel with speed down the wall. Loads one up and shoots right in. Rebounds there. Casti taken down, going to the net, and the Blades will be back on the power play. And a nice play from Misa Neppel just to put the puck in on Twomley, who let the puck lay there. And Casti doing his job, going to the net, gets hauled down. And the Blades on the power play for the third time tonight.
Yeah, just a nice play by Hoffman to start that. He finds Casti in that seam, dot lane seam, and they could go up the ice with speed. And then Casti just keeps on going and goes to the net and gets hauled down and gets rewarded for a power play.
So Grubin will be out there. He's been dangerous for the Spoilers today. And I think effective in multiple roles, not just scoring, but causing problems for the Blades defending. As he blows a tire and goes hard into the end wall. Puck played up for McDonald. Has trouble, tries to leave for Hoffman on a jumbled up zone entry there. Neppel with the puck, plays across ice. Lopez back in his zone, gets around Grubin, now plays it to McDonald. He plays it back through the middle for Casti. Broken up. Blades control inside the zone, and they'll try to get set up here. Lopez on the far side, leaves for Hoffman. He loads one, fires, and he scores on a big screen from McDonald in front, taking Twomley's eyes. You can see he was frustrated. He didn't even see it as Hoffman kind of double clutched it and shot her far side over the glove hand of Twomley. And the Blades are now 2 for 3 on the power play themselves as we're all knotted up at 3 apiece here in the third period.
Yeah, Hoffman has his eyes up the whole way. He's looking for that screen. He's looking for his spot. Nicely placed shot. You don't always have to shoot the hardest either when the goalie can't see it.
No, it looked like he didn't lean into that one. He kind of placed it a little bit wisely, as he could see that Twomley had no chance of making the save, as number 10 was standing right in his crease. Shot on, that's off of Michael Peterson's boot. Played back to the line. Hoffman was just outside the zone, has trouble, regains nicely, controls and dumps. And Olsen will go back for the Spoilers to get it. He takes a hit from McDonald, controls the puck though, plays it back through the middle, and that's Mo up the ice. He cuts across center, plays over for Suda. He fires one off of Gilbertson's stick handle and out of play. As the Spoilers try to answer back on the next shift.
Yeah, sneaky zone entry there by the Spoilers. As you see, again, the defense trying to angle, communicated well in angling, but they had that weak side guy over there that was not accounted for in that play. And they were able to get the shot off, but steered away by Gilbertson.
So Grubin, Augie Miller, and number 7, Jonathan Presting, out there for the Spoilers. Against the Casti line. Casti through middle ice with the puck. Over for Neppel on the net. Twomley steers it aside as Neppel was right in his face. Puck controlled by the Blades at neutral ice. Hoffman over the line. Loads one up. Shot was partially deflected. Still in on Twomley. And that'll go for an icing as the Spoilers miss the target on the zone exit.
Yeah, nice play by Hoffman just to gain the zone. You see these guys when they just kind of read the defensive pressure, and the pressure wasn't coming, and he just kind of glided in there and was able to get a shot on net and actually follow it up because it was a big rebound. Liking his game so far today.
So Brushard, Spinks, and Jack Ekron out there for the Blades. They'll do battle against the Suda line of the Spoilers. Played behind the net. That's off of Ekron's skate and out of the zone. Peterson will control. He's out there with Stav on the back end for the Blades. He plays for Spinks, kind of handcuffed him a little bit. Shot on in front, hits, I believe it was Matthew Peterson on the way through. Suda does a nice job to knock the puck out of midair and hold it down for Mo. He controls on the far side half wall. Puck played up to Peterson, plays it to himself, gets it over to Spinks. Spinks has trouble. Plays it back for Peterson, and it gets through him. Puck dribbles through Jelinek and into the corner, where it'll be centered by Jack Ekron up in the air behind the net. Spinks buries his man along the in wall, and then he takes a hit himself. Suda returned the favor. And now Brusher returns the favor on him, so some bodies are banging around here inside the Spoiler zone as they finally get the puck down at the Blades end, where it'll be controlled by Ekron. Now Spinks back through the middle. He has nobody there, and the Spoilers will control. Spinks picks the puck off a man, stumbles as he crosses the line, and took kind of a knee to the head there. And he's down still as he kind of drifted in on Twomley. As he was on the ice, and a Spoiler kind of came in and looked like he dropped a knee down on the head there, and he looks to be shaken up. It's like he's in pain down there as the trainer will come out and tend to him.
Yeah, head contact's not anything to mess around with. Nice play by Spinks in order to put pressure on him. You never know when that D guy is going to mishandle the puck like he did right there, and he had a clear step, and if he could keep his feet right there.
So shaken up, but on his feet now. And like you said, yeah, I think he was maybe surprised as he stripped that puck and got excited and toe-picked.
Yeah, I kind of like our odds there with that guy coming in all alone. He's a pretty good shot, pretty good goal scorer. But yeah, it was just, I think he was as surprised as anybody else that he had the puck on the stick at that moment.
So Trofton Grubin against Casti again. Those guys have been matched up, seems like all afternoon. Blades controlling their end. Luke Craig with the puck. Lopez up to Casti, kind of gets through him, and back we come the other way. Gilbertson blockers the shot aside, now played back to the middle, unable to be controlled by the Spoilers. Puck's coming in from the point there and being kind of kicked out of there. Puck played through the Grafton Park River defender. It's not going to go for an ice as Lopez is there. Centers for Casti. Casti off his stick. Twomley steers it aside. Loose puck for a minute. Grafton Park River controls as Trofton Grubin back up ice. He's dangerous. Craig takes him to the corner. Backhands one in on Gilbertson. Puck laid in the slot for a minute. Now it's controlled by the Blades. Neppel, he's back through middle on a 1-on-3. Harassed by Trofton Grubin. And turned over by the Spoilers as they come back through middle ice. Errant pass comes right to Charlie Ekron to the Blades, and they'll control in their own end. Luke Craig comes back to the near side corner. Getting the Blades kind of giving pucks away there, and it's going to cost them sooner or later, as we've seen wings and defenders just throw the puck up the wall. Nearly did there as a shot from the point came in. Just missed the far side post. Lopez dumps it in the corner, where it'll be played by Jelinek of the Spoilers. He takes a hit from Brushert and plays the puck out to neutral, where Peterson will fire it back in for the Blades. Puck behind the Spoiler net, played out front. Mikey Peterson loads one up and shoots right into a defender. And Grafton Park River controls the play. The way they come to neutral, Hoffman does a good job of breaking that up. Casti for Brewer in his own end. Now back for Peterson. Stick at middle ice. Kind of breaks up the play. And now it'll be shot in. McDonald plays it down the near side wall. Leaves for Casti in the corner. Bumped back up the wall. And Grafton Park River fires it back to neutral, where Hoffman will play it. He just kind of loads one up, fires it down. And Grafton Park River controls in their end. Spoilers behind their net. Back through middle ice. Over the line. Turned over nicely by the Blades defenders. Hoffman misses Casti, and that'll go for an ice.
Yeah, wide open game again. Not really anybody settling down in one end. As we have 10:36 left here in the third period, a tie ball game. Shots 26-24 in favor of Grafton, but up and down, wide open.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. So Trofton, Gruben, and Casti pair up again. Heavy ice time for the Casti line this game. Nepple plays out to middle, broken up briefly, but now the Blades control. Lopez finds Casti in the middle, backhand, scores!
Nice.
Forehand, backhand, Casti finds the far side under Twomley's glove or behind his pad, and the Blades are ahead for the first time today. As Casti, seems like he's been the man of the hour for a while now, finds the back of the net one more time. 4-3 Blades, 10:23 to go.
Yeah, that's a great zone entry right there. As you can see, Jackson's just super patient, gets on that glide. He's able to wait for Casti to clear on that net drive and find him, and Casti knows what to do with the puck right there.
So Blades control in their own end off the draw. A little bit of good mojo going as they've played well today, finally rewarded for it and able to breathe just a little easier as they're up on Grafton Park River after a power play goal, and now an answer on the Casti goal that came from Nepple and Lopez. Shot in on Gilbertson, controlled by Hoffman. He fires off the glass. Nice hold by Jelinek. He takes a shot from Klinert. Chip to the line, not out. Held nicely by Olsen. Shoves it back down the wall. Brewer controls. Stripped off of him by Mo. He fires. Big save. Glove down to himself. Tried to play to the line. And Klinert lifts it out of there to safety.
Yeah, I think the Blades are going to have to be prepared here to get the big push from Grafton, as they're not going to sit back here, and at times have taken over the game and be able to play and sustain zone time in their offense and create opportunities for themselves. And now do they have a regular strength, even strength goal so far this game, or if everything came off power play for Grafton? I don't recall.
Grafton has 2 power play goals, and so 1 would be even strength, yes.
Okay.
As you see Casti taken down in middle ice, things continuing to remain physical this game. Wide stab back in his own end now for the Blades. With the pressure on him, plays it off the wall, comes right to Casti, and now it's chipped to neutral. As the Blades have the line mismatch they want right now, but Grafton Park River is controlling play. Peterson with the puck, chips for Casti, that's out of the zone. And they call it offside, but probably should have been blown dead as it was touched inside the line. And now it squirts back out to neutral. Nepple causing problems for the Grafton Park River defender. He recovers nicely, and they'll turn it up to Trofton Gruben. He's inside Stav, he's free, fires, big save, Gilbertson with the blocker. Casti picks it up, plays it to middle ice, controlled by Grafton Park River. Trofton Gruben in, just off his stick at the last minute. He's taken down Stav, clears it around for Lopez. Things really heating up here now as Grafton making its push. And puck played behind the Spoilers net. A couple of close calls there for the Blades. As Luke Craig will control in his own end now. Craig back through the middle, over the Spoiler line, cuts back to the inside. Gets the puck back, collides with McDonald. Not sure what's going on. Brushard fires it down into the corner. Craig comes to Craig at the point. His shot goes into the corner. McDonald tries to backhand one into the slot area. That doesn't go. And Peterson on the good forecheck. Now Trofton Gruben skates away. He's harassed by McDonald up the ice, forced into the corner, wide by Ekman. He fires from the corner. Gilbertson still had to be sharp, though, as he played that one behind the net. And now Luke Craig with the puck. Lifts up to the line, not out. Back in on Gilbertson. He steers behind The net to the corner, now to Ekron. He backhands to McDonald. McDonald finds Brushert in the middle. He gets just enough of it to get it out to neutral. And Grafton Park River controlled and shot it back in. Now to Casti off of his stick. And it'll be turned back in. Right on net, though. Gilbertson plays it to Craig. Craig has trouble, reverses back to Ekron. Ekron to McDonald. It's in his feet. Plays it up to Casti now. Casti's got Lopez cutting through the middle. He's got a step on Jelinek. Can he get wide? Nice stick check by Jelinek to take the puck off of Lopez at the last minute as he was looking to load up the backhand. Things getting loose here. Puck played in hard. Blades tag up, still offside, and they'll blow that one dead. With 6:43 to go, Blades probably could use a whistle as they're getting a little loosey-goosey here at times, and the Spoilers looking to take advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for them to play very defensive-minded, keep that F3 high so that they don't get any odd man rushes. Avoid deep pinches if you can. I mean, obviously if you can get the loose puck, but definitely clear your own end when you get the opportunity.
Grafton Park River controls off the draw. They'll gain the red and try to get it deep, but turned over by the Blades. Neppel and Casti in all alone. Neppel fires just wide as I thought he had the top corner, just missing. And we had a Grafton Park River player go into the net. On the back check is nearly a 2-on-0 there for the Blades. That would have probably put this one away.
Yeah, you'd like to see. If you're going to take that shot, you got to finish. Otherwise, you got a man right there where you can get that goalie sliding side to side.
So 6:26 to go. Shots are currently 25-30 in favor of the Spoilers. 4-3 score in favor of the Blades. So it'll be Casti versus Troftengruben again, as they'll be pretty familiar with each other by the time this one's all said and done. Puck played around by the Spoilers. Augie Miller fires it out. That's going to go for an icing. Nope, we're going to get a touch on it, so it'll come back for Hoffman. He takes a big hit, and the Blades are going to go on the power play as Augie Miller touches the puck. And maybe all that agitation finally paid off for number 2 as he took one in the back from Jonathan Presting, and he's going to go to the box for 2 on is it a boarding or?
They gave him a roughing call.
Roughing call.
Yep.
So yeah,
probably a good call right there. It was quite a few strides with a guy's number showing.
And that's probably a number that the boys in Brown were probably looking for. They find that, like I said, that agitation adds up, and they finally had a chance to get that pesky number 2, but this time it's going to cost them.
Yeah, gladly take that hit, right, but probably don't want to kill that penalty.
So the Blades, with 6 minutes to go here, will be on the power play for 2 of it. As McDonald cuts back to the middle, hits Lopez up the far wall. Lopez kind of slow plays it, but he's going to rim hard to Casti. He lets it come through to Neppel. Neppel at the line, back to Hoffman, walks down, flubs a shot. Casti scores from the goal line.
That was in.
We got a goal pointed out, and then we got a wave. I'm not entirely sure what happens here. Now we got a conundrum. Yeah, he's going to call a goal.
Yeah, that thing was clearly in.
So he fired it up above Twomley's shoulder off the goal line, and Twomley kind of...
It went through the net. That's what happened. It went through the top of the net.
Wow.
You could see that on the replay. That's why everybody was confused, because he shot it in and it went behind the net.
Well,
I've never seen that before. Ben's going to have to patch up the net on the goal down there. Well, he'll have to get his sewing kit out and get that thing patched up.
So the Blades strike on the power play for the 3rd time today, going 3 for 4. And the explanation will come through. As it was pretty clear that it went in, but I thought they were going to waive it because the net was off. But Twomley had knocked the net off after the fact. So Blades with a 2-goal lead, 5:39 to go. Again, special teams playing a huge role in today's game. As the Blades control.
For the Blades, at 11:20 in the 3rd period, a power play goal from number 17, Grayson Casti. Assisted on the play by number 2, Josh Hoffman, and number 28, Easton Neppel. That's Cassie from Hoffman and Nepal. Say it with me, Blades fans.
So we see getting a little bit more agitation. 17's going hard to the net. Takes a few shots for his efforts after the whistle. Blades maybe trying to get back on the power play, and why wouldn't you when you're 75%?
Yeah, they want to be on there at this point in time. And, yeah, 17's another guy who over the years has agitated a lot of people. He's hard to play against, and it frustrates the opponent quite often.
Blades control. Temporarily, now played out to neutral. Peterson's got to hurry. Puck chipped around him. And good hard back check from number 28, Easton Nepal. Finishing his man behind the wall. Olsen takes a big hit there, but makes the play. Doesn't seem to be bothered by it. And puck played almost to Lopez, but again, nice play by Jelinek to step up, cut that pass. Casti with the puck now, cuts back to neutral. Has Lopez on the far side, cuts down the wall, looks to shoot, fires, hits him. I believe they hit Twomley right in the mask. Back out to neutral. Good back check from number 10 to take the puck off of Troftengruben. Things are, the intensity heating up here, as that'll be offside if they touch it. Now Troftengruben controls for the Spoilers. Rink-wide play. Hoffman finishes his man into the bench. Puck play to Brushert. He's over the line and turned over by the Spoilers. Peterson knocks his man off the puck. Played behind the net now. Spoilers come away with it. They'll chip to neutral. Not out. Brewer did a nice job of holding the zone. Good hard forecheck for number 4, Mikey Peterson. Making life difficult on the Spoilers. They'll get the zone. Shot deflected into the corner. Blades doing a good job keeping things to the outside. And we're going to get a call.
Got a high stick. I'm not sure on who yet, though.
I didn't see a penalty. You're reaching for that one. So it's on Brewer. And that's a heck of a time to call a high stick. 3:42 to go here in the third period.
You don't see very many high sticks in high school hockey. But this officiating crew did call a lot of penalties in the JV game, so they definitely want to be involved.
Well, I missed it. Usually if it's a high stick, it's an incidental where the stick just gets away from him and catches a guy high. I didn't see anything, but clearly the official did. He was pretty emphatic about his call. Just kind of caught me there as it kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. So Blades back on the kill, and Grafton Park River has been superb today on the power play. Clicking at 66%. Back across the box, shot by Troftengruben. That goes high and wide. Controlled at the line. Jelinek with it, looking to go back door. Blades doing a good job of collapsing down, taking that lane away. Now played back to Jelinek at the top. He goes to Troftengruben. Good stick by Casti to break up that passing lane. And into the corner they go. Now back up the wall. Troftengruben, dangerous all day. Loads it up, back behind the net. Mo with it. Reverses ice. 3 to go in the game. Play to the line. Back to the middle. Back down the wall to Troftengruben. Off his skate. Fires. Big save by Gilbertson. Blades will get there. They'll shoot it down. And Twomley will set it up behind his own goal. Now plays it into the corner. Casti for the Blades. There first. Fires one on. McDonald will pick up the rebound. Plays it off the wall. Steps around Troftengruben. Looks to center for Casti. Doesn't connect. Spoilers away. Hoffman back. Hard. Ekren plays the shot into the corner. Takes his man there afterwards. Spoilers with room. Walks out of the corner. Fires. That's gloved down by Gilbertson. 2:23 to go. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty. The high sticking call on Brewer. The Blades doing a good job on this kill to take away some of those lanes where they got maybe stung before.
Yeah, they did a great job that first unit. They couldn't get anything to that backside, and even if they did, it had to be a pass in the skates. And as you see, even that broken play there, as the Blades tried generating some offense on the PK, got caught back a little bit without numbers. Kale sitting square to the shooter at the top of his paint, tracking that thing the whole way, didn't give him much to shoot at, and was able to secure that rebound or that shot without even giving up a rebound. So nice PK so far that the Blades have drawn up here. I'm guessing Grafton, I missed the call from Scott, but I'm guessing Grafton called the
Grafton called the timeout here to talk things over, maybe rest their top unit. They're clearly trying to go to 13 on the far wall. Troftengruben to load up as they work the puck. Real similar to what the Blades do. They'll kind of work up high, get that guy coming off the flank with a little bit of speed, and or else try to come back across the box to him. You can see Jelinek plays the other flank, and he's trying to go right back through the middle to 13 on the far side. And Blades doing a good job of getting in that lane and breaking that up, and frustrating Grafton Park River here on this last power play attempt, keeping them mostly to the outside or below the goal line.
Well, judging by his goal that he scored there on the one power play, he can shoot, right? I mean, he just put that thing in a perfect spot in a tough angle. So yeah, I mean, I get why you want to generate your offense around him.
So, looks like the Blades will send out Ekron and Hoffman, who've been doing a nice job so far, along with McDonald and Brushert, who usually work the kill together. So the Spoilers are going to go for the 6-on-4 here as they get Twomley to the bench with 42 remaining, and they'll send out the Suda line. Well, let's see, Suda, Mo, Troftengruben, Jelinek, and they'll control the draw. They work it up high, back across. Hassan with the puck, works it back to Jelinek. He loads one up, fires. Shot tipped by Drew Suda. Absolutely buries Ekron in the corner. Shot by Troftengruben goes high and wide. And back to the middle. Jelinek back to the top. McDonald in the lane. Works to the side, fires. That's steered aside by Gilbertson. Drew Suda recovers for the Spoilers. He's got room, works it off, broken up in the front by Hoffman. Blades fired down, just missing. Brushert misses the empty net attempt. Troftengruben back. Blades at full strength. So now we're 6-on-5. Troftengruben receives the puck over the line. Checked by Casti. Stood up nicely by Ekron. Takes him to the ice. Puck played around to the line, but not out. Held in for Drew Suda in the corner. Plays back into the corner for Mo, back to Suda. He spins, tries to get to the front. Defended by Ekron. Puck gets through the Spoilers. It'll come out to neutral. Casti in the face of Jelinek. Now he's turned aside. Shot in on the side of the net. Gilbertson takes a shot. I believe that was from his own man. Hoffman going hard behind the net. He's stunned as he lays back there for just a minute. Looks to be just a bit shaken up. We'll let him get his bearings. He's going to need to know what's going on here for the last little bit.
Yeah, he's going to have to be clear of head and be able to see everything. So looks like Easton was asking him if he's okay, and I think he gave him the head. Now they're going to give him a minute here just to check out his helmet and maybe get a drink of water. So
Priesting is in the draw. He's the one who came off the wall there, fired one on. Gilbertson had to be sharp with the pad, as he's going to reset his helmet and gear, grab a drink of water, and Casti will dig in against Priesting with 1:03 to go in the game. Casti again controls into the corner for Craig. Puck played up to the top again. Now back down to the wall for Jelinek. He steps in, fires. Gilbertson steered aside. Jammed in off the rebound as Gilbertson wasn't hugging the post, and it squeaked under him. As we have a 1-goal game with 50 to go.
Yeah, what do they always say? The hardest lead is 2 goals in hockey. And
so kind of a fluky goal there as Gilbertson had made the initial save. And it's tough to seal that post at times, especially when you've already made one save. You just got those little holes in there, and it looks like they maybe banked it off a pad or off an elbow or something from the side of the net.
It was actually a pretty smart play by him right there, because it's tough to defend. You can't really block that shot.
So Twomley back in the net, and now he's rushing. As the clock was late to start, we'll get a whistle.
Assisted on the play by number 10, David Jelinek, and number 11, Thomas Hassan.
That's where we should be, 35 seconds.
So officials are going to have to sort because the clock didn't start right away.
Yeah, the the unofficial clock, our engineer Tony Lopez ran it down to 35. So they lost 11 seconds there. We'll see what they put it down to.
So officials will sort this out. I'm sure both coaches are lobbying for more or less time. And this.
Will Jamie help us?
Yeah, the person running the penalty box calling up right now. They're going to say something like 26 seconds left on the clock.
So they're going to run some time off the clock to 39 seconds.
Close enough, I guess. Human error.
And so Twomley's going to be on the bench as Grafton Park River has 6 players on the ice. And their coach getting an explanation here as he seems to be content with.
So this draw right here will be big for the Blades in order to get to win this draw, gain possession of it, and then get that puck out.
So I'd have to say this face-off is everything. They can no longer ice the puck, but as they're not on the PK anymore. But yeah, this draw is everything. Controlled by the spoilers. Troftengruben fire wide. Pursuing with the puck. Has trouble up at the line. He's protected or boarded by Lopez, and they'll get the puck. Comes to Neppel at neutral ice. Steered back for Troftengruben. 22 to go. Suda has trouble. Plays onside. Comes to Casti. Backhands one. That's going to go down. 13 seconds. 13.1 to go in the game. Some tense moments here.
Yeah, I'd like to see Casti maybe try to just toss it into a corner the other way instead of trying to do a back and flip around and give them then an entry right here. You'd almost be more interested turning that puck over to them in their own end versus D-zone faceoff.
So Suda in the draw against Casti. Making sure everybody's where they need to be before they drop this one. Controlled into the corner. Hoffman shovels it around. Centering attempt comes through. Big stick. That'll do it. Up the ice for Neppel. He fires. Misses wide. And that'll... I'm not sure why he shot that puck.
Yeah, well, he just had to
skate the puck down.
He just had to just...
If you don't hit the net, you can't take that shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking there other than just to pad the stats.
The game's over if he hangs on to that. Now we get one more draw. 2 seconds on the clock. Casti's going to have to be good in the draw. He goes head-to-head against Suda for one more time. And
that'll do it.
One to the wall, and that'll do it. Blades with a big win. A tense one coming down to the wire and coming from behind, making special teams work for him. It was a good one today.
Yeah, it was a good one for a team that was hot. And a team that's been beating some pretty good teams are up and down the Red River Valley here. So nice win by the Blades. Staying in the win column now with a couple wins in a row. And it wasn't more than, a handful of games ago they were 1-7, and now they're finding themselves 6-8.
So one the Blades needed to get, and stopping Grafton Park River's win streak at 4. And just getting word here from our stats department that Cale Gilbertson would have set the school record for saves today, too. I'm not sure what the number is.
Something over 1,500.
Yeah, so it's up there. He's played a lot of varsity hockey. Still has another year to go, so he's going to put that bar up plenty high for the next generation of goaltender to get to.
Yeah, he definitely had to be sharp today, allowing 4 goals on 36 shots. Or shots. He had to be on his game, and he And then how many times have we talked about where we need to do better than 4 goals, right?
Yeah.
And the Blades had to. The offense is going though. The offense played well here today and was able to get over that 4 goal mark and be able to win this hockey game.
So yeah, it's not. Blades have struggled this year when giving up 4 goals, and they did today, but found a way to get the win. And a nice effort, nice performance all the way around. As we're going to cut things kind of short here, as we know you got to get out of here, Coach, as you have a game shortly after.
Yeah, I got to go get my peewees going here.
Well, good luck to you, and we're going to hang tight as we hope to get word from Coach Wurtsema with his thoughts on the game today. So, and just our stats people giving us the number here. Cale Giberson with his 1,528 saves now, setting the school record for Breck Wap goaltenders as he passed Nolan Womry with today's performance, and needed every one of them today as it came right down to the wire. Grafton Park River coming with a big push towards the end. Got the one extra attacker goal, and almost on the second one there too to tie the game. So the late goal paying huge dividend for the Blades to get the 2-goal separation, and a nice performance all the way around. Special teams a big player here as the Blades scoring 3 power play goals today. To stay hot on the special teams. The Grafton Park River doing a nice job on their power play as well. Just came up short on the last one. As the Blades kill finally had things straightened out and kind of took away some passing lanes. So with that, the Blades' next contest will be at Mayville, and that'll be on the 27th, on next Tuesday. So they play up there, and then they play on that Thursday in Little Falls. And then they have a home game against Bagley the very next day on Friday, January 30th. And then they still have trips to make to Crookston and to Becker Big Lake. And they have home games against Wadena, and then they close out the year against Fergus Falls, although there's one more Prairie Center road trip in there that they'll have to make before the year end. Any other thoughts on the game there, Tony?
No. Actually, I was just thinking while you were talking about the schedule. I mean, would they move one of those non-conference games? No, that's why I was just wondering. I was like, because it's going to be tough because we're going to be playing 3 games a week, potentially with that Prairie Center coming in
before that week.
Yeah, so 4 games in 7 days. That's going to be a tough one.
I don't think they'll move anything. I think that coach is going to want to play all the games he can.
And, I think this week's going to be a big turning point. Mayport, we've always played tough. What was it? Who's right after them? Little Falls, we've never played. So that's a new team that, kind of like Grafton. I think it's going to come down to the end. I know they haven't had the same year that they've had in the past, but always tough games here. And Bagley's got one of the best lines in the state, so it's not going to be easy for the next 3 games. So right now we're sitting at like 6-7-1, I think.
Let's see. We'll count them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 losses. 1, 6, 7 wins. So 7, 8, and 1.
7, 8, and 1. Must have had something missing on that. On our.
Unless I counted wrong.
No, you're probably right. I probably haven't updated our little board here, so I had 5, 8, and 1. So.
Well, we got Morris, Wadena, Morris, Park Rapids, Kitson. Did I count wrong?
So we won.
6, 8, and 1. My bad.
Yeah, so it should be 6, 8, and 1. But we're 5 out of the last 6. We're 5. Yeah, 5 and 1 in the last 6. So we're slowly getting going here. So that's a good thing. We want to be ready for the playoffs. But I think we still have a lot of big games ahead of us. So there's times for these boys to see what we have. Like I said, Little Falls. We've never had that opportunity to play them. Now they're in our section now. So
yeah, so starting to play at the youth levels and should carry right on up into high school here now, probably fairly consistently. is we play at Bantam and Pee Wee now, as they're members of District 15 here. So
we're just waiting for Adam here, and hopefully, I mean, he's probably talking to the boys before he comes out and talks to us, but be with us shortly. Oh, looks like some of the boys are coming out, so that means he might be free here.
So I imagine Coach is probably pretty pleased with the way his team played today. I mean, outside of some of the penalties, which I didn't think were egregious, played pretty well. I got a little sloppy at times, but I thought overall the team looked pretty good here.
Yeah.
Let's see. It looks like Coach Wertzum was almost ready here. All right, Coach, you got me down there?
Yep, I can hear you guys.
All right, congratulations. A hard-fought win today. What were your thoughts on the game so far?
Really pleased with the power play. Obviously, it's clicking on all cylinders. The forecheck was good. I thought defensively we played well. We were moving the puck. I always say let the puck do the work, and we were moving it. We were flipping the ice. At the end there, situationally, we haven't been in that position a lot, and I would have liked a couple times for our guys to get across the red line before they go for that open net. But it's nice to learn these lessons after a win instead of, giving up the lead in a loss, possibly in overtime.
Yeah, I thought your team battled back. Also a position maybe we haven't seen you in this year where you're coming from behind to get the win.
Yeah, well, when you forecheck like we did today, we drew some penalties. You go on the power play, and then you take care of that. That helps a lot. It gets the team going. I know anytime you can be 5-on-4 and have one more guy, that works,
Exactly. Anything special you're trying to do on the power play? It looks like a lot of times that you're trying to go on the seam play there from Lopez back to Neppel, but Hoffman wired one through as well.
Well, yeah, it's we have 3 guys high there. We have 2 flanks. We want to give you all the secrets, but we basically want to get guys who we think have good shots and positions to shoot the puck. And we got Kai in front of the net taking away the goalie's eyes. And if those guys can get pucks to the net, I think they're going to have some good opportunities and have success.
So this is a pretty good Grafton Park River squad, and their record, they beat some teams. What do you take away from today? I mean, are you thinking now that as you can go down the road and play teams like Crookston that this team is beat, that you're looking to get wins there now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a tight game with Crookston, but I look at it, it's our 3rd win in a row now. We're kind of getting in a roll now. This is a good win to get under our belts, and I think if we can just keep going here and string out a few more, I think the teams will start feeling a lot better about each other and how our game confidence is going to go up and just things go from there. I mean, we had a big goal from Larry today. He went hard in the center of the ice and had a stick down and went off a stick and went in the net. Like, we need him to start scoring. We need Kai to start scoring. We got these guys starting to up their games, so that's good to see.
I thought you got some, maybe not a lot, but some meaningful minutes from some guys that haven't been in the lineup tonight in Xander Klinert and Camden Spinks.
Yeah, we're trying some different things here, getting other guys in there and being a little more creative with our line combinations. But, no, I've liked it. I think Grayson with Easton and Jackson going every other has been good. They're playing with energy. They're getting into the game, and then the other guys are filling in and doing what they need to.
Yeah, it'd be tough to break up that top line right now. They've been on fire.
Yeah, they've been putting up a lot of points, and we're pleased with how they're playing.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on a big win.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
Yep.
All right, there's head coach Adam Wertzema joining us with his thoughts. And that's got to probably feel good for Coach there. I feel like the Blades have maybe been on the wrong end of some games this year where they had some good performances and lost, and maybe had some not so good performances and lost. I know Coach had probably been a little bit frustrated with different performances at times, but it's kind of nice when things start working and start coming together and you have a little bit of success.
Yeah, and I think like today's game, they had number 13. I don't know his name.
Trofton.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know what I butcher. But
Trofton Gruben.
He's a baller. He can skate. He puck handle. You got to shut those guys down, and I think the team as a whole did that. I know we a couple games ago. What was Josh? Josh took it upon himself to shut down a really good player. Mm-hmm. Today, the whole team decided to do it and come out with a win. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, it's nice seeing guys take maybe some ownership of their defensive play, and then maybe take on a role that they hadn't taken on before. All of the I don't know if you say it was an agitator, but just playing tough physical hockey, maybe getting under the other team's skin just a little bit. And I feel like Hoffman's done that recently.
Yeah.
And, again, towing that line a little bit, but also, when the stage is at its biggest, he's stepping up and making defensive plays.
Yeah.
And his defensive game, I thought, too, has just looked so much better in the last few weeks. And it wasn't terrible before, but sometimes there'd be a lapse. And that's not just him, that's some of the other defenders. But his defensive game has really gotten solid. And he's a real threat now when he's defending as well as he's defending. He's checking as well as he's checking. And he's also chipping in consistently on the offensive side of things, too.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the D guys are going to start looking at that. And, I think Ekron had a good game today. Wyatt, a little shaky there in the first period, but he seemed to hold his own for a while there. Having Matt back there with that speed, I mean, it's great. I think we were lacking that when he moved up. But, if they're skating from goal line to goal line, I think Matt's going to win every time, So it was good to have him back there.
Well, everybody's all smiles after this one. See a few of the boys mingling amongst various game goers and fans, and so this one will feel good. This is a good spoiler team that they beat here today, and so they can go home tonight and feel good about this one, and hopefully it's setting the tone for the rest of the way down the stretch with some good performances. As we're going to wrap up here, as it's just about time for the Pee-wees to take the ice as they have a game against Alexandria. So we thank you for joining us. Again, our next action will be next Tuesday at up in
Mayville.
Is it Mayport?
It's
Mayville?
It's Mayville. It's Mayville.
So
in
Mayville, Portland.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be up in Mayville Tuesday night against what's generally a pretty tough squad for Mayville. And we should have a stream from there?
Yeah, yes, because they've always been really good with us and giving us an opportunity. So we will be streaming from Mayport.
All right, so tune in Tuesday night. We'll have more Blades hockey. Again, Blades win today 5-4 in a thriller. Came down to the wire. We'll catch up with you Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us.